Okay, let's get into this video. I'll put in the description why I am a little on edge. First, the magazines. This issue of Trains and Railroads in the Past is an article on the Baltimore, Ohio rolling stock in the 1950s and 1960s. It has a photo of a former BRMP 080 switcher, which will be used for reference to the BRMP B&L Warsaw Industrial Branch layout. This issue of Rail Fan and Railroad has an article on the failed merger of Southern Pacific and Atchison Topeka and Santa Fe. Of course, the article is SPSF Shouldn't Paint So Fast. This failed merger is the most famous in the nation, and most people into trains know about it. I always get Rail Fan and Railroad when we go to Rochester. Here's the receipt. From Dispatch Junction. We'll start with the gondola. This gondola replicates one used by the Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern, which was a Class 1 railroad operating in the Chicago area. This railroad existed as an independent railroad from January 1st, 1889 until December 24th, 2008, when the STB approved the majority purchase offer of Canadian National, who kept most of the J as a subsidiary, until February 31st, 2012, when the EJ&E was merged into the CN subsidiary, Wisconsin Central. The J ceased to exist even on paper on January 1st, 2013, though locomotives survived. This 40-foot, 6-inch gondola, EJ&E 34615, is a model of one that was built in September 1947 and therefore is to be run on the 1920 to 1960 era BRMP B&L Warsaw Industrial Branch and will likely be seen bringing steel into the elevator factory. It has KD couplers, but the wheels will have to be swapped eventually. I got this one for free. They threw it in with the 17 others. This was manufactured by Varney. Next, we have some cars from the Santa Fe. This well-known Class 1 existed from February 11th, 1859 until it merged with the Burlington Northern Railroad on December 31st, 1996 to form BNSF. First, we have ATSF 21889, a 40-foot, 8-inch BX85 double plug door boxcar built August 1964. This will be used in the big layout for some years represented. I got this car for $8, which is great. It has body mount knuckle couplers, but plastic wheels, so that will have to be changed. It is missing a brake wheel, but that isn't really easily noticeable. This and every car after either are Athearn or appear to be Athearn. Most, if not all, Athearn blue box kits. Second is ATSF 145627. A 40-foot BX37 single-door boxcar built December 1966. Also for the big layout, this has the same slogan on it as the 21889, just in a different place and different font. This was $7. Third is the ATSF 309693, a 4740 cubic foot GA161 3-bay ribside covered hopper built December 1966. This would most likely be used to haul grain, though these types can also haul chemicals. This will likely be seen delivering feed to various agricultural businesses. This is well weathered, even the trucks and couplers are weathered. I got this for $10. Weathering is not as noticeable on camera as it is in person. Fourth, we have two cars. ATSF 307182. These are 5250 cubic foot GA160 4-bay plastic pellet covered hoppers built November 1969. These are both weathered but not the same. I am not sure what I will do about them being duplicates, but they were each $10. These will be used mainly to deliver plastic pellets to plastic manufacturers that will be located on the freelance part of the big layout. Next, we have a car from the New York Central. This was also well-known Class 1, traces its roots back to the earliest railroads in New York. It was formed on May 17, 1853 and operated until January 31st, 1968, when it famously merged with bitter enemy Pennsylvania Railroad and New York, New England, and Hartford to form Penn Central, the disaster which set the stage for Conrail's formation. This is a steel caboose, NYC 21273. It is in an Athearn Blue Box package, which says New York Central Caboose Kit. But it doesn't have the appearance of the other Athearn blue boxes. This requires some work. The horn hooks need to be placing with knuckle couplers, and one ladder needs to be stuck back on. This I think I'm going to have sitting on a display track along the Finger Lakes Northern. It was $9. Next we have a car from the Union Pacific. This well-known Class 1 is the only current Class 1 railroad to never change its name through decades of mergers. The car is UP23452, a 4740 cubic foot ribside covered hopper. It looks like it was built June 1966. Also weathered, this will likely be seen going to agricultural businesses in the big layout. This costs $10. Next we have two basically identical cars. 53496, which are apparently leased to Firestone. These are 5250 cubic foot plastic pellet covered hoppers were built, it appears, in April 1960. One is heavily weathered, but the other is like new. This one will require some repair as the bottom has come off and the weight is loose. These were $10 for the weathered one and $8 for the clean one. Next we go to cars from the Chicago, Burlington, Quincy. Steve Childers will be excited. The CB&Q was talked about enough in STS that I don't think I need to talk about it also. However, these are Burlington cars, not Burlington Northern Heath. These are Burlington, Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy. Different railroad. First CB&Q 184607 is a heavily weathered and appears to have a build date of August 1967. This also is the 5250 cubic foot 4-bay plastic pellet covered hopper, and also was a $10 purchase. Second is a non-assembled Athearn Blue Box kit. CB&Q 184667 is a 4740 cubic foot 3-bay ribside covered hopper, which will likely be hauling agricultural products in the layout. This was $8. Next we go to a pair of identical cars. These from the Denver and Rio Grande Western. This Class 1 started as a 3-foot narrow gauge railroad in 1870 and grew to 2,783 miles. Are those upside down? During the mid-1880s. It converted the standard gauge and is famous for operating the Moffat Tunnel and Royal Gorge, along with 10,240-foot Tennessee Pass, the highest main line in the nation. In 1988, the DNRGW's parent company purchased Southern Pacific Transportation Company. Due to the SP's larger size and more known name, it was chosen to be the parent, and DNRGW became a subsidiary, like the St. Louis Southwestern or Cotton Belt. The DNRGW remained a subsidiary of the Southern Pacific until 1996, when Union Pacific acquired the company. DNRGW 15518 are also 5250 4-bay plastic pellet covered hoppers, and both are weathered. Oddly, they have different top hatches. Must be or might be different runs, or something fell off. Each are $10. Were $10. These are not for sale. Were $10. Next is Southern Pacific. This Class 1 operated from 1865 to 1996 and was acquired by the Union Pacific. 496085 I have two of, one weathered and one not. Also 5250 cubic foot plastic pellet hoppers built in the 1960s. Oddly, these two have the size wrong, displaying 3250 cubic foot instead of 5250 cubic foot, but that's not noticeable unless you really look. Not a big deal at all. The weathered one was $10 and the non-weathered was $12, making Athearn's mistake even less important. Next we have a car I spent a little more on. It was $25, but this is the car. As you can see, this is Arcade Natica 510, built May 1968. This will fit in the big layout for a little while. It's a 3770 cubic foot, 40 foot, 6-inch steel boxcar. This looks like an Athearn Blue Box, but looking online says the ARA 510 was an AccuRail model painted by Tioga Trains. And last but not least is a car that doesn't really fit either layout. It's a 40 foot, 6-inch, 3898 cubic foot single-door boxcar, which fits with 1960s built steel boxcars that would run in the early parts of the big layout. It costs $20, which is a little more than identical cars on sites like eBay, and it has horn hooks, but it supports one of the few brick and mortar shops in the area, so a couple extra dollars for one of the more common runs of these cars is worth it. The car is painted gold, and is this MRT 50 1984, one of the 50th anniversary cars to celebrate Model Railroader magazine's 50 years in business. These are easy to find online, but according to the internet, they don't often show up in hobby stores. And this is in beautiful condition, like brand new, and is in the original box, unlike the others, which some are in other boxes. At least this side doesn't have a scratch on it. There looks to be a little bit of the sin of Wisconsin. that has some wear, but that's it. I will probably replace the horn hooks, but keep them so when I'm gone, I will have the original couplers in the box. Well, that's all for this haul. I think I did very well for $200 on the cars. They all will need a slight bit of work, but nothing major. I haven't a clue what I will do with the duplicates. I might consider using them as prizes for giveaways someday. I might keep them. I might renumber them. If I keep finding cars for these prices, I'll be very happy. These might not be the newest and most detailed cars, but they allow me to get half a train's worth of cars for the price of 5 to 10 new cars. Dispatch Junction has more than I considered buying, but I didn't have much time to look through the selection. Even though I was there for quite a while, I was looking mainly at trying to decide among these cars and some other Athertons that were there. They have Ansem HM and Tyco. Right now they have more used HO scale than new, but hopefully in the future they'll have some newer stuff. I'm not going to be going there anytime soon. Batavia Train Show is coming up, and I want to check out that and see what I can get there, and hopefully the RIT show will be happening. I'm really looking forward to running these cars eventually, but unfortunately they will probably be sitting in the boxes in plastic for a while. Take care and make sure to watch the other videos I have put out. It will help to ensure that there will be future videos. Out of 75 subscribers, I should have more than 10 views or less per videos. I mean, just because it's not a huge production and special effects and stuff doesn't mean that I don't work hard on these videos. These videos are done using the best of my abilities, and I have to put out what I am capable of doing, and they're not gonna change. Even when I get home internet, I'm still gonna edit them on my phone, and it's still gonna be the same. I'm not gonna become a movie studio. You don't need to. This is YouTube. This is not Hollywood. This is YouTube. Don't put so much emphasis on people's production quality. Who cares? This is a community for everybody of all different abilities. Don't be saying, "Oh, you shouldn't watch somebody because they don't appear to care." Having different looking videos than somebody else doesn't mean you care any less. It just means that you are doing what you have the ability to do. And some people change as they go on, and some people don't. Some people just don't have the tech savvy and aren't going to. So be nice to other people. That's it. Watch some of the other 150 videos. There's plenty of videos on the channel. Binge watch the entire channel. Enjoy. Later. Bye.